If your Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons are drifting and worn out, this is probably the last joystick replacement you'll ever need. These are the handheld DIY Hall Effect joystick replacements for the Nintendo Switch. These use magnetic sensors instead of physical contacts, meaning they won't wear out over time, and more importantly, they won't ever drift. I replaced my Joy-Con sticks with these, and I'll show you the install process, then spend most of the time talking about how they actually feel in real gameplay. Quick explanation: if you're not familiar with Hall Effect joysticks, instead of physical contacts like standard analog sticks, these use magnets to track movements. There's no physical wear point, which is why drift eventually happens on stock Joy-Cons and why it simply doesn't happen here. I chose these because if you've ever fixed Joy-Con drift before, you already know it usually comes back. Replacing them with the same style of analog stick is basically a temporary fix. Hall Effect joysticks cost a tiny bit more, but this turns it into a one and done upgrade instead of something you have to revisit every year. So here's what you get in the box. The packaging is just clean and efficient. There's no unnecessary fluff or wasted materials, but everything you need is there. For the install, all the required tools are conveniently included in the package. Start by removing the 4 fasteners on the back of the Joy-Con. Carefully pry out the battery, then remove the battery bracket underneath. From there, unfasten the plus or minus button assembly and remove the screws holding the joystick in place. Next, you can use the included tweezers to gently disconnect the ribbon cable, and once that's free, the joystick can be lifted straight out. To reassemble, you just do the same thing in reverse. The biggest thing to watch out here is for the fastening screws on the back of the Joy-Con. They strip very easily, so make sure you're using the correct screwdriver, apply a good amount of pressure, and take your time. As long as you're patient, this is a very manageable mod, even if you've never opened up a Joy-Con before. Once everything was installed, the experience was refreshingly simple. I powered on the Switch and the joysticks worked immediately. No calibration, no firmware, no tweaking dead zones or anything. It was just completely plug and play. And for me, that's a big deal, especially with third-party mods. And it's something I was expecting to have to mess with, to be honest. So that was a nice surprise. The first thing I noticed when actually playing on the new Joy-Cons is the tension. These Hall Effect sticks have slightly more resistance than stock Joy-Cons, and for me that was a really good thing. It gave me finer control, especially near the center of the stick, and small movements felt more deliberate, which helped with aiming, camera adjustments, and even menu navigation. They're not overly stiff and they don't feel heavy, they just feel more controlled and more precise. So the accuracy on them is excellent, the inputs are clean, smooth, consistent in every direction, and there's no jitter or weird dead zones. The biggest advantage here with these Hall Effect Joy-Cons is longevity. Because there's no physical contact wearing down over time, these won't drift, ever. That makes this a great upgrade if you spend a lot of time on your Switch, if your kids use it, or if you're just tired of fixing the same problem over and over again. I'd recommend these to anyone already dealing with drift, worn out pads, or anyone opening up their Joy-Cons anyway. Overall, it's an easy install, you get better control, there's no calibration, and you never have drift again. So it's an easy recommendation from me. Hope this was helpful. If it was, please consider liking and subscribing for more reviews like this. And if not, no problem. I still appreciate you checking out the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.